Oh yeah, it's the weekend, and you know what that means. It's time for Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com with your hosts, Corey, Manny, and Tommy. And now, broadcasting from planet Earth, it's time for Pixels and Bits. Welcome to Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Corey. Hi. Welcome to episode 45 of Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. I am joined by my co-hosts, Manny and Tommy. Say hi, guys.
Hello, Internet.
Good evening, everyone.
The delay again. Ugh. I'm just messing. Before we get started, I've got 3 little promotions to go up because these are all awesome. First one is the new Humble Bundle, which came out today, today is Thursday. And that is, you can get the new Humble Bundle for Humble Bundle. God damn. For $5, you get Trine 2, Mark of the Ninja, Et's Munchies Beta, Brutal Legend, FTL Faster Than Light, and Fez. That's about $60 worth of games right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good deal. So, and they're all compatible with Windows, Mac, and Linux. For the one guy who's listening to this who uses Linux. So
that one guy is a badass, Corey.
Yeah, that one guy also has a penguin as his desktop background and keeps penguin plushies everywhere. Well, seriously, what is it with like Linux and the obsession with penguins?
That is a good question. But I have a guy at work who does all his stuff on Linux, and that's like his work stuff.
I'm actually surprised my own brother doesn't use Linux because like his background for a long time was a penguin in the snow. He has a giant stuffed penguin. He wants a penguin for an actual pet. Yeah. But anyways, next little promotion is Awesome Knots. Is free to play this weekend on Steam, and it is 66% off right now too. For those who don't know what Awesome Knots is, it's a really awesome MOBA / run and gun platformer. That's it's really cool. It really is. I mean, who here has played Awesome Knots?
I did. We did a review for it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
as the name implies. And then next we got a Kickstarter, which we will link to in the video below.
Oh, shit.
With who here is familiar with Shantae?
No.
I know a lot of Shantaes.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Shantae was a really awesome platformer release for the Game Boy back in 2002, I think. Didn't really sell very well, but it's made by the same studio who's making DuckTales Remastered.
Okay.
And they've made like over 200 titles.
Oh.
So these guys are very experienced at what they do. They're very good at what they do. And they're promoting their new game, which is Shantae Half-Genie Hero. What is it? Well, you play as Shantae, the star of the game, who is a human-genie hybrid, a half-genie, who hair whips monsters and belly dances to transform into magical creatures. And it's actually really awesome. Like, as quirky and weird as that sounds, it's great. It really is. They're just barely they're not barely shy. They still got a ways to go. They have about $259,000 of their $400,000 goal. If they get the $400,000, this will release on Xbox One, Wii U, PlayStation Vita, Xbox 360, PS4, Steam, PlayStation Vita TV, and PS3.
All right.
And so pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would buy it. So, and they actually had a really cool thing where if you pledge $12, you got the game, and they also send you some other stuff, but that's all gone now. So the only way to get the game is I believe if you pay $25 or more.
What will that include?
The game, the digital soundtrack, plus a bunch of hand-drawn desktop wallpapers and everything.
Yeah, it's even better.
Yep. And that's about it. But like I said, I highly recommend you guys go to the Shantae Kickstarter and bring back a really cool, quirky platformer. And if you don't want to, and if you want to check out Shantae, you can get Shantae and Shantae Risky's Revenge on DSiWare for the 3DS. Anyways, time to move into the news desk. Hit the music. God, that's awkward. Anyways, Sony news. First, PlayStation 4 has a release date in Japan. It's in February. February 22nd, to be exact. That seems a little, odd.
Yeah. Shouldn't they get it before us?
That's kind of, yeah, it's I mean...
Normally
Or are
that's how
we
it
getting like the
goes,
beta
but-
version?
I mean, that's
scared.
that's like a football team throwing their homecoming parade at the other team's football stadium.
This doesn't make sense.
But yes, it comes out on February 22nd. But if everybody in Japan who buys the PlayStation 4 gets Knack for free, which is, I could see that being a decent title. I mean, Knack has its appeals, but I'm not gonna pick it up. I don't think. But they announced a few new titles, such as Soul Sacrifice Delta, Phantasy Star Nova, Guilty Gear, Third Sign, God Eater 2, and Phantom Breaker Overdrive, and Natural Doctrine. Most of these will never leave Japan.
I think
And,
Phantom Breaker. I think Phantom Breaker.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's a maybe. I know originally it was supposed to come to the United States, but never happened. And I think this new one that they're making might. It's a strong possibility.
I don't know. There's like Japan has a lot of really kind of cool, quirky games that I really, really, really want to play, but like I can never play them unless I go to Japan and buy their shit there.
Well, I mean, I think they tested Phantom Breakers with the Battlegrounds, the arcade one that Ad did a Let's Play on. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it did well, successfully, financially for them in the US. So I think with the new Phantom Breakers, it's like an expansion. It's like Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate. This one's gonna be a little expansion that will probably come to the US. I think. Because I
Yeah,
want
I
to play
think.
that. I think. But I think...
Tommy, I don't pay you to think. I pay you to edit.
You don't pay me at all.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So I think, Corey.
More PlayStation news. There's a remodel of the PlayStation Vita, and it comes in 6 different colors.
Just like the iPhone 5.
Yeah. It comes with they expand the flash memory in it by 1 gigabyte. Promises extended battery life. The only downside is that they replace the OLED screen with an LCD screen.
Yeah, the difference is worlds apart.
Yeah. That's like going back from like super high def to playing NES. Not that drastic, but close. But this is kind of to meet with the price drop. I mean, OLED screens are super expensive. I mean, hell, I have a CD player that has an OLED screen, and that probably makes up a whole fourth of its cost. And that screen was about a $400 screen.
Jeez.
Well, that, and it also has a 1 gig of internal memory. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but for all the misers who complain about not having that memory, I mean, that's one less thing you have to buy.
I just wish they just make it SD cards. For the love of Christ, just make it fucking SD cards and get rid of this stupid proprietary shit. I'm sorry, but like I don't like the fact that they literally came up with a new memory format just so they can gouge the price on memory.
Yeah, that does suck, but that's Sony for you.
Yep. Which I'm now thinking of South Park with like the Japanese. Fuck are you, whale? Fuck are you, dolphin? This is like Sony. We didn't want this memory. Fuck are you, gamer? And last bit of PlayStation news to come out of their little conference in Japan. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. They announced the PlayStation Vita TV.
What?
Yeah.
Which essentially is them going into... which they will be... It's essentially PlayStation's version of the Apple TV. But it's not like an app thing like a Roku. It's actually a micro console. It uses the DualShock 3. And it'll allow you to play PS1, PSP, and PlayStation Vita games on your big screen.
That's cool.
I can see that being cool, but PlayStation 1, I can buy one of those for $10. PSP, well, there's a $10 cable where I can hook it into my TV. PlayStation Vita, isn't there wireless for that? I'm just sorry, this just doesn't seem logical. Just like you have all the technology and people have the means to do this already, but I mean, I guess for the sake of convenience, it'd be nice, but I don't know. Anyways, next review. This is kind of PlayStation news. This is about Killzone Shadowfall. This is interesting. One of the things you can do with multiplayer games is, like, if you don't have enough players, they put bots in the game. However, what they do is they have a system that analyzes the behaviors of other players, and the bots mimic the players.
Oh my god.
So I can teabag and it will do that?
Yeah.
Yes! or everybody knows T-killing, TK.
Oh, yes.
Sorry guys, TK.
My bad. I'm a noob.
Oh no. This sounds kind of cool, but like the moment like I see a bot like teabag somebody, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
Anyways, next is Microsoft. Microsoft has announced that everybody was worried that once the Xbox One comes out, that the 360 would literally be dropped off within about a year. And this is kind of the worry with any new console. This definitely happened with the old Xbox. The old Xbox was literally dropped off within a year. So they said that the Xbox will be supported for 3 more yearly rotations. So for 3 more years, which means the Xbox will be supported up to 2016. So for those who were worried that, like, if you want to play all the new games, you have to buy a new console immediately, you don't! Your games will just look shittier. And you won't be with all the cool kids. Oh god. I'm now thinking Fresh Prince for some reason. Anyways, next story is from Valve. And remember how Microsoft had the family sharing program with Xbox?
Oh yeah.
Well, guess who just ripped off that idea?
Oh, Sony.
Valve.
Oh, Valve, sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
I just want
hell are
Sony. I don't
you?
know. I'm looking up stories.
Anyways, as a part of Steam's upcoming 10th anniversary, they announced that a new feature for their digital distribution service, and it's called Family Sharing. This feature is it definitely has quite a few similarities. The feature to Xbox One. The feature will allow the owner of the account to share their entire game library with up to 10 other authorized people. And similar to Microsoft's original plan, the owner's account has top priority when it comes to playing the games, and only one person at a time can use the account. So, like, say, like Manny, like you're like, hey, Corey, I want to play Far Cry 3, and I'm like, okay, sure. And if I'm not using my Steam account or playing the game, if I'm not playing Far Cry 3, you can play Far Cry 3. So, but the moment I start up Far Cry 3, it gives you a prompt either to buy the game for your own account, and don't be a cheapskate, or quit and just go sulk and read a book.
Just rage quit.
Just be like, ah! Throw your monitor through the window. May is just going, damn it, Bella, look what you made me do.
Marty Smash.
Oh, jeez.
What? Anyways, now there will be some games that won't work with this. Any games that have a subscription-based service or require third-party accounts. So, now that I think about it, yeah, man, you can't play Far Cry 3 because that uses Uplay. And of course, I wanted to say EA, but EA is already dicks and they don't have anything on Steam anyway. So, they are announcing the beta, which will start around next week, and they'll allow about 1,000 Steam users to participate. I signed up. I'm hoping I get it. And if I do get it, I will give you guys a report on how it works.
Cool.
Alright, so second to last story. Now, if you remember in right around December, we kind of mourned the loss of G4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has anybody noticed that network is still around, but all it does is play cheaters and cops?
That's all they always have. They always play that. That's all it's ever been.
Yeah. Then every now and then you would see Adam Sessler for a second.
Yeah.
And then back to people cheating on their wives
That
and shit.
Quantum Leap, I think, Nick? Or no. Is that the show? They play like Quantum something. Was it Quantum Leap, or was that a game?
I don't know.
It's Quantum something.
Anyways, so basically, G4 became what was known as the Esquire network, under orders from NBC, and they canceled 2 shows, which is Attack of the Show and X-Play, and laid off a shit ton of people. And guess what? G4 is still around, so NBC has said G4 is expected to remain as far as oh god, this is so poorly worded. I think this person might have been me. G4 is expected to remain is for the foreseeable future. Wow. Though it's highly unlikely the company will invest in more original programming, Stotsky will remain in charge of that network as well as Esquire, which will remain his primary focus with regard to time, energy, and his resources. Please bring back Attack of the Show or X-Play. Oh, and you know what? Give Tommy Tallarico back his show. That was a good show. For those who don't, know, Tommy Tallarico had his own little review show called Judgment Day. It was actually really good. Do you guys remember that show?
I don't watch G4.
It ran between 2003 and 2005, and I think Tommy Tallarico is the only person I've known to give a game a 0. But. Yeah, he literally gave the game a 0 and drove off set in his car. He was so pissed about it. Actually, we asked him about this.
I think we did, in the interview.
Yeah. Anyways, last story. The founder of Atari, Nolan Bushnell, says Nintendo is in danger of becoming irrelevant. Quote unquote. I don't think handheld game-only devices make sense anymore. Not when you have an iPad or an Android micro tablet. When it comes to the console market, I think the market is truncating? That's an old school word. Nintendo has always had a soft spot for young people. They sort of did the 12 and under pretty well, and the other guys did the 12 and over. Now they think the other consoles are good enough on those things, and the rush to upgrade them from 12 and under is not nearly as important. I completely disagree with him. I think there will always be dedicated handhelds, and there always will be devices dedicated to gaming. The reason the iPad won't become like the next Game Boy is because touch controls fucking suck.
Mm-hmm.
There's like there's something about having the feeling of pushing something, having resistance. You don't get that with touch, so you don't really know what you're pressing. You don't know if you're pressing it right or if you're holding the button too long. It's so like games with time sensitive button context will be just completely unplayable. AKA any Peter Molyneux game. But I mean, like, what do you guys think? Do you agree with Nolan?
Hell no. Oh, go, Manny.
Oh yeah, no. Crap. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Go for it, Tommy. I'll think of it right after you. I literally just
All right.
blanked out.
Smooth, Manny.
Yeah.
It was my fault. I mean, we talked at the same time, and it's very unprofessional, but whatever.
Go for it, Tommy.
No, I
It's
don't-
all you.
Thank you, man. No, I don't think Nintendo's fine. I mean, their games are always fun. I always enjoy Nintendo games. In fact, I keep pretty much all Nintendo games I ever bought. Yeah, go. What?
Well, that and one of the things that Nintendo has going for them is, believe I'm correct in saying, they are currently the single largest game company in the entire world.
Yeah.
I think they're either second or third, the second or third largest traded company in Japan. So if you look at the top 5 most traded stocks in Japan, Nintendo is on that list. Nintendo has done very well. They have lasted over 100 years.
They know what they're doing.
As long as they have Miyamoto, everything will be fine.
Exactly.
Next story, Miyamoto is retiring. So, Manny, did you finally figure out what you were going to say?
Yeah,
Or
no.
just gonna be-
No, I'm pretty much kind of on the same page as Tommy. I mean, the thing is, especially with companies like Nintendo, they don't, because of who they are, they don't need to constantly make, like, the next upcoming Call of Duty kind of thing, It's like their games like Mario will constantly, just by itself, sell itself and, be in the fabric of time in terms of gaming. So, yeah, I definitely think that they have intention on their end.
And actually, if I was to compare Nintendo to any company right now, they're pretty much like Apple.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Except not as dickish.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of like how they approach their electronic devices and everything, basically Nintendo is all about simple and intuitive. Same thing with Apple. That's what they built their entire fucking company around. I mean, that's what the original personal computer was. So, it was supposed to be a convenient way to use a computer. Anyways, that is the end of the news desk. Middle segment. Now, recently, Hotline Miami 2 came under a very what's the word to say? They were basically grilled by the media, and what happened was that they had a sexual assault scene in the game, and basically, if you're wondering what the sexual assault scene is, basically there's a scene in the demo where it appears that one of the characters is about to rape somebody. And then game cuts to black. But this brings up an interesting question. How far is too far in games? Because if you look about it, the games tend to push things more so than a lot of other things, especially when it comes to violence. I've seen way more violent things in video games than I have seen in anything of a movie. And the only thing that I've seen that maybe comes even close is like maybe those like those really crappy gore fest movies from like the 60s and 70s. Like you know which ones I'm talking about, where they're just like it's like, hey, let's put like a plastic dummy and make it look like a person and then pale the shit out of him and pour corn syrup everywhere.
Have you seen Piranha 3D? I mean, that was pretty graphic. For guts wise. I mean, there's women. Of course they're topless, but they're like
yeah.
cut
Have
in
you
half
seen
and-
Little Combat?
Yes.
Noob Saibot grabs a guy's legs and rips him from the bottom up. That's fucking violent.
Yes, it is. And then again, there's also Gears of War, the chainsaw.
Gears of War,
Yeah.
or the curb stomp, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, it's so like, it seems like violence is just like, let's push it as far as we can. I've never really heard of a game that was called too violent. Most violent game personally I've ever played that like I thought was taking, that's just like, wow, that was pretty brutal, was Max Payne. Where like when you would like shoot people in like slow mo and you would just like see like their faces like starting to disintegrate and like blood and shit.
No, nice.
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
It's Max Payne is really brutal. But like the topic of sex is like it's completely taboo, and pretty much most in every culture that isn't Europe. So you could correct me on that one, Column, if you want to. Because I'm sure Ireland it might be a little different. But it's just like what was the last game that you can think of that actually tackled sexuality in a very not in an untasteless manner that did it very well? I thought Heavy Rain came very close but kind of bungled it. I think Mass Effect did all right, but it was definitely awkward with some of the characters. AKA Shepard Garrus.
You don't see anything. All they do is just they just hug each other intimately.
Like I said, like Mass Effect came close, but they didn't go that extra step like what Heavy Rain tried to do. Where like you basically act out a sex scene. And just like so, like the question is just like, will game developers not only push it more because you're kind of starting to see it a little bit more, then step back a little bit more. But is it possible to do it in a way that's not tasteless or feels natural, feels actually like this should be happening? Like Mass Effect, I felt like it's like this is natural, this is all part of character development, but I felt like it wasn't pushed far enough. So I mean, you guys see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm curious. This is like where do you think, like, can this be pushed to where it's not awkward for the gamer to play it? Because if you look at it, it's just like sex and awkward is a very awkward thing to talk about. It's something you don't talk about with your parents. You definitely don't really talk about it with your friends a whole lot because it's still an awkward thing to talk about.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind if I jump in on this one, personally, I think the irony of this, I think the more they push it, the more conditioned we are to expect it, or just having been exposed to it. Hence, my reference to like movies. Like I remember when I saw Transporter 2, that was like the first movie I ever saw where it said, brief nudity, but it was still rated PG-13. And it's like, whoa, it used to be, brief nudity was an R movie. But, I mean, when they push the envelope there and expose it more, you tend to become more conditioned to it, so it becomes less of an effect on you. And I kind of could see that happen with games. I mean, I'm curious what you guys think.
Well,
oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
The issue, what I think, well, not really an issue, but I think the reason we haven't seen much of it is because if they do this kind of sexual stuff, it'll be a mature game. But at the same time, you won't have mature players buying this game. You're gonna have like 12-year-olds playing this game, and when they're exposed to this, I mean, it's just gonna cause more. It's gonna cause issues. And I think that's why we haven't seen much of it, because there's that loophole of little kids playing mature games.
Well, it's just like kid says to mom, hey, can I get this game for my birthday or whatever? And sadly, it's just like parents aren't informed enough about what games should be. I mean, I actually kind of when California a long time ago proposed the idea of putting stickers on game cases basically like really bad M-rated games, like say like GTA, Max Payne, that whole thing, would have a warning sticker on it saying, this is for mature, this is like for adults only or mature audiences only. Basically saying, don't buy this for your fucking kids. And I think that's something like parents kind of need to have, but this is kind of getting away from the subject. I think that games, I think it's going to be like movies can do it because movies are seen as art. There's a lot of people who still don't accept games as art. They accept it as escapism. And because of that, if you see something like Heavy Rain or Mass Effect, hell, Mass Effect got so much publicity just because you could have relationships with aliens. And that got, like, blown out the asshole all over the news. And I think that until games are widely accepted as art, you can't tackle a subject as taboo as sex without pissing a few people off.
Well, you're never gonna satisfy everyone. I mean, that's how it is. That's how the world is.
Mm-hmm.
Meh. I mean, if they're really gonna have sex or like some rape, it has to be story. It has to, like that. You have to show that if it's gonna move the story, because you just can't have that for the sake of just having it to be controversial. You can't have it just to be controversial. There has to be a reason why you're doing it. It has to push the story forward.
Well, like anything to do with rape is very off topic, super off topic. Even like the slightest like inclination to it gets just like it gets blown out of proportion. A great example, Tomb Raider, when it was like who here's actually played Tomb Raider?
The newest one, right?
Yeah.
I haven't.
You have it?
No, have not.
Oh, you have not. Okay, basically in the beginning of the scene, there's this beginning of the game. There's a scene where Laura gets captured. He's tied up by like these slaver guys, and one of them's trying to put moves on her. She fights back, and basically the media made that one little scene out to be like, oh my god, this woman gets raped in a game.
Oh jeez.
And and it makes me think, it's like, holy shit, if the media like gets so upset over something, over the idea of rape that never actually happened or even came close to happening. And then there's a game like Hotline, and if Hotline Miami 2 came out and actually still had this scene, oh man, indie developers would get so much flack. And that's something the indie community does not need right now. So, now I'm going to ask the final question. Now, we've argued that sex can be possible if games are accepted as art, like movies are. But can games push the envelope further, or should it just kind of stay?
I can see in the future. I don't think just right now. I think definitely during the years of the next gen, we'll start seeing more of it. I mean, by more, I mean maybe like two games, like at least 2 or 3 games a year, something, that's sex or rape related. But I mean, we're just testing the waters. That's what I'm seeing it as. They're just gonna test the waters. It's gonna be a slow process, but honestly, I don't think it has to be necessary to the story. Otherwise, why even have it? In my opinion.
I know. I agree. Manny?
Oh no, I certainly agree. If anything, I hope they don't, progress with that kind of influence, because I mean, it's bad enough when you got not just media but parents getting this awkward stereotype that all games are completely violent and the source of modern violence, and it's like the last thing you need is sex thrown in that equation. So
well, the game is rated M for a reason. They just don't know what the M means.
Yeah.
actually, interesting fine. You know, I got one more question to add to this. Are we going to see it more from indie games who aren't limited to all these limited to by responsibilities to their investors and corporate backers, or like I think we're going to see it more from indie than we are going to see AAA. I mean, do you guys agree with that? Because indie, you have way more creative freedom.
I don't know. I mean,
then you got the fact that like most indie developers don't want to deal with the PR fallout, or just can't. Look at Phil Fish. He couldn't take being called a hipster on Twitter. Bitch.
Still waiting for that. Still waiting for that Fez update to fix the corrupt saves, man.
Yeah, never gonna happen.
I hope so. He said it would happen.
He said it would happen, and then the next day, fuck it, I'm done.
Okay, he's done with Fez too. He didn't say anything about the original Fez.
I mean, he says he's done with games, so I think he's done with Fez.
His team could still fix the updates. Phil Fish isn't doing that.
His team was him and one other guy.
Ah.
Anyways, I think it's time to end the middle segment. Agreed?
all right.
Yeah.
It is now time to move on to my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It is time for people doing stupid shit. Hit the music. Oh.
Okay.
Well, at least there was no delay that time.
Anyways, Tommy, go.
Alright. So, do you hate people who wear, like, baggy pants, you know, like, just show off their boxers?
Oh yeah,
Fuck yeah.
gross.
Ah. Anyways, here's a scenario where it's actually a good thing that happened to have those pants.
Oh.
Well, not for the person wearing them, but for the situation of what happened, because an alleged robber was foiled by his baggy pants.
Oh, cool.
Stupid robbers. You gotta love those stories, don't you? Anyways, this took place in Orlando, Florida.
Wait. I just thought of something. You
Yeah.
know how GTA, you have ultimate customization?
Yes.
What if you give your character baggy pants, but his run speed slows down?
That would be cool. But just funny just to see your character just like, wait up for me, guys.
Wait up for me, he's like hopping to catch the car.
You actually see him pull his pants off and everything.
He tries to pull his pants up, and the game says, cannot do that. Cannot do that. Fuck!
Anyways, the robber who was running away with his hands full of loot from a Florida church was caught when his baggy pants started slipping off, the sheriff's spokeswoman said. She said that the man, Anthony, 31 years old, seriously, was praying in this sanctuary of a large Catholic church near Walt Disney World on Wednesday when he Rose went into the gift shop, grabbed the cash drawer, and ran towards the courtyard with church maintenance director Joe in pursuit. As they ran, Anthony's baggy pants began to fall down, said the Orange County Sheriff's spokeswoman. Yeah, and after that he was caught.
Wait. He tried to rob a church in Disney World.
No,
Well, near Disney World.
Yeah.
Near Disney.
Near Disney World. Still, the fact that you robbed a fucking church?
I know, seriously.
Damn, man, that's low. That is low.
Now, of course, he was arrested with a felony of robbery charges, yada yada yada.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's just 31 years old wearing baggy pants. Come on.
Yeah, that is
How
pretty.
stupid can you get?
Oh, yeah. Has anybody ever here seen the Vine video where, like, these guys are driving past, like, this guy who has his pants down to his shins, and, like, they're like, hey, man, pull your fucking pants up! And the guy's, like, trying to chase after him, and his pants fall off.
No.
Alright.
And that's why you should pull your pants up and wear a freaking belt.
No, I only have 2 stories because I just couldn't find a third one. But anyways, this last one I thought was.
Is it in Florida? Is it in Florida?
No, it's in California.
Ah, Tommy, your state
It's
sucks.
in my. Oh, come on. Anyways, Felix, a McDonald's manager, robbed his own store and then another.
They'll never suspected one of their own, did it?
I don't. Seriously.
Oh god, I'm now imagining like a bunch of guys like dressed up as Ronald McDonald and like his pals. They're like, hey man, let's go. It's like, we're short on cash. You know what? Hey, you can always rob one of your stores. Yeah, dude, they'll never suspect that it was us.
Yes, the manager in California robbed his own store and then another at gunpoint. Yeah. All right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't McDonald's managers make decent money?
I guess he just wanted more money. This guy was greedy.
I don't know. Well, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm sorry. Maybe store managers don't get good money, but I know district managers get hella good pay.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, don't you have to go to like a fucking school for that?
Yeah,
For
it's like
McDonald's? I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, you have to go to like their McDonald's college or whatever.
yeah.
Oh.
Shit. Yeah.
It's in Illinois. It's like called like Mac University. It's pretty weird.
You
but
gotta
yeah.
be kidding me. This is the first I'm hearing this.
Yeah, you have to literally be a McDonald's district or regional manager to work at McDonald's corporate. You have to go to McDonald's University.
No, if you even want to be the manager of the McDonald's, you have to go to that.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Yeah.
but they pay for it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. I guess that's the upside. Anyways, on August 28th at 3 a.m., Felix, 42, allegedly donned a white mask and threatened employees at the drive-thru window at the McDonald's he ran. According to the police, he forced 3 workers to open a safe in the office so he could take the money.
How did he do this from the drive-thru?
I don't know.
hey, go rob the safe. I know exactly where it is and what the combo is. Don't ask how I know.
I don't work here, I swear.
Then the suspect then herded the employees into a freezer and ordered them to stay there for 30 minutes.
Shit, man.
No one was injured.
Then he like comes back to the store. Hey, man, what you guys doing in the freezer?
and then his downfall was attempting to rob another McDonald's similar on September 2nd. Again, he left with the money and no one was injured. This time, however, he was later apprehended in his vehicle by police and jailed. So yeah.
Well, looks like someone at that McDonald's is getting a promotion.
Yeah.
One person's bad luck is another person's fortune.
There you go. More of the story, folks.
Yep. And it is time to move on to the final segment, which is shoutouts. Who wants to go first? I will. So, my shoutout is the fact you can buy Nathan Barnett shoes.
Really?
Yes. Okay, if you guys don't know who Nathan Barnett is, like the coolest guy on the freaking planet, Manny can vouch for that. And he's also Keith Apicary.
I don't know about the coolest, but yeah, he's cool.
Yeah. And he's now has his own shoe line. He now has his own shoes. It's awesome. It is awesome. Actually, the insole the insole has a printed thing of Keith on it. I don't know why, but it's also, and they're only $65. It's not, and these are good-looking shoes too.
Have to Google this.
I don't know what the brand is. Macbeth? Have you heard of this brand?
Nope.
I mean,
Shakespeare shoes? What?
I don't know, but like these are just awesome shoes. I really, really want a pair. I really do, and I know somebody who would really love a pair of these. And you can get them in like tons of different freaking colors as well, of course, as shoes usually do. But for $65, that's not bad for branded shoes. Usually they cost a fuck ton more than that. Like I remember when Deadmau5 came out with the shoe line with Puma, and those shoes were like $100 a pop. And they did not look that good. Like, you could barely tell Deadmau5 was branded on him.
Didn't people
You
like
could-
spend $100 on just a plain white T-shirt from Kanye West?
Yep.
So people are stupid. So who cares?
Yeah, of course. People are those are sheeple. There's people and sheep. The sheeple are the retards who have too much money.
Hey, did you
But-
show Justin this, Corey?
No, I haven't.
See, I thought that's what
but
you were
yes,
referring to
but-
when you said, I know someone who would want these.
But Justin would want these.
Yeah.
He loves.
Justin
my
is
brother
Corey's
would
brother,
love-
by the way.
He would love the hell out of these. He's a huge fan of Nathan. But yeah, these are they're not on sale yet. They're pre-orders, so it's not like they're sold out. So yeah, get them. You can pre-order them for $65, and they will arrive in October. So I say go buy them because these are definitely some cool looking shoes. And that is my shout out. Who's going?
Unless you want to jump in, Tommy, I got something.
I'll go. My shout out goes to Signal Studios for giving me the beta code for Ascend Hand of Cool. It is an Xbox arcade game. It's free to play. Right now it is the beta, and I am excited to play it. Because, hell, it's a beta. I get to see it crappy. I get to play a crappy game before it's nice and polished and ready for the public. Help make the game good. So yeah, there might I'll say maybe expect some videos on it for the
Cool.
Overshield just to see it. Yeah, that's the shout out.
Yep.
All right. So,
Danny?
yeah, my shout out. Well, as Corey found out last night, I recently acquired a PSP at a fairly decent price. So I've just been playing some JRPGs, and recently one that I've acquired through Amazon because no one else had it was this really cool title called Valkyrie Profile. It was originally created for the first PlayStation back in '99, but they made a port for it in 2007 for the PSP. Well, here's a link right here, but just to give you an idea, if you want the original one for the PlayStation, it costs around $450. So it's like, no.
Shit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a classic though. I mean, it definitely goes in there with the realm of like Grandia and some of the other, competitors who tried to match wits with Final Fantasy. So, and if you notice, it was actually developed by, it was developed by Tri-A Studios, but it was backed or published by Enix, which is now Square Enix. So,
Well, back then I think they were SquareSoft.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, if you ever check it out, it's definitely really fun and definitely a classic, which explains why it's hard to come by. But in fact, I even ordered the last one they had available on Amazon. Now, if you try to order it,
You son of a bitch.
yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, it looks fun, and I can't wait to receive it and check it out. So yeah, definitely my shout out goes to the PSP.
Yep. And that is the end of shoutouts. And before we say goodbye, one word. 5 days till Grand Theft Auto 5. 5 more days until we're all jumping through windows and shouting, "Get on the fucking ground!" and then go hijack blimps and get chased by the cops. I am so looking forward to that game.
Collector's edition.
You're getting the collector's edition?
My brother is.
Oh, which
Yeah.
wait, the GameStop one?
Yeah, that's the only collector's edition. Well,
No,
yeah.
there's 2.
No,
there's
that's like a
2.
limited edition, I think.
Oh, so you're getting the collector's edition, which has like the bank like thing and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, I
Be
kind of
jealous.
envy that.
Be jealous, Corey.
I would do it, but then I see that receipt that says PlayStation 4,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's
I
just-
got 2 of those on my receipt, so it's like,
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Jeez.
fuck you.
Mr. Rich here.
I wish, buddy.
No, and here's the thing: those aren't even for him. He
I-
bought those for his sisters.
Oh, brother of the year right here.
Well, I try to do what I can. I can be an asshole at times, so I have to balance it out.
Yeah, Manny
You
can
can't
be
buy
a bit
them
of a
love.
selfish
You
dick.
can't buy love.
But I
Like
can.
like in high school when Manny asked me to help him out with the computers, I just thought, God damn it!
But I didn't buy Corey anything, so it's legit.
Oh. Anyways, that is the end of Pixels and Bits episode 45. My name is Corey.
And I'm Tommy.
And I'm Manny.
And we'll see you all next time, folks. Bye-bye.
Laters.
See ya.